I'm going to jump right in because I'm going to let Leslie introduce Bree and Joe. I'm going to say a little bit, but good evening, everyone. Happy October 9th, and thanks for joining us. We have two special guests tonight, and I'm very excited to sit back and listen. I've got my notepad. I'm ready to learn, Bree and Joe, so bring it. I wanted to do a few shout outs before we jump into that. I wanted to congratulate Perry, who's not on the call tonight. She has a community group, but she's going to be going Emerald tomorrow. So I hope everyone jumps in and gives her some high fives tomorrow. I'm sure Amanda will do a great shout out and announcement for her, but she's not even stopping there. She's got 3 coaches, and I think she's enrolling her husband soon. So she's doing really great, which is awesome. A big shout out to Crystal, who Blaine recognized in Team Ignite tonight. As of this month, she is an SC5 legend. And what that means is she has hit Success Club 5 24 months in a row in her business. So Beachbody does a little recognition for hitting it a year in a row, and then they recognize you for hitting it 2 years in a row. They'll recognize it for SC5 and for SC10. So it's a major accomplishment, and it's a big sign of consistency, and that's what produces success in this business, is the consistency. So I know sometimes we go back and forth and talk about, don't get wrapped up in SC5 just being a number, because it's not numbers, it's people. But it's a really good marker for success in your business. It's a really good way to track if you're doing the right things consistently over and over again. And I was on a call today that was talking about, some people follow the rule of 3, where they need to you reach out to 3 people, add 3 people a day, invite 3 people a day, follow up with 3 people a day. Some people do a rule of 5. Some people do 1 or 2. You have to stick with something, 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, 15, whatever it is, and see what results that gives you. I've been listening to a lot of calls with successful coaches, like 15-star coaches that have been around a while and are doing really well, obviously, and all of them have said, 3 and 5 didn't cut it. Like, I couldn't get to my goals inviting 3 or 5 people a day. I was always someone that had to invite 10 or 15. And you might be like, well, I can't do that. I don't have time for that. And that's fine. Like, that was what lined up with their goals. And it also lined up with their closing ratio. Some people can talk to 3 or 5 people a day and hit SC5 or 10. Other people know that, hey, I got to talk to 10 people. I've got to talk to 15 people. So you really do have to, just like with weight loss goals, first determine what your goal is and then backtrack to figure out, okay, what actions do I need to take to get myself there? So a big, big congratulations to Crystal. I know that that's not an easy thing. I know that during those 2 years, it's easy to put a lot of pressure on yourself to hit those numbers, but I'm proud of her. So, and last shout out goes to Blaine, who's already at SC6 for the month. So it's only the 9th, and that's awesome. I know that's always a huge exhale moment, but I know she's not done. I know she'll be reaching for higher. So that's awesome. So congratulations, girl. And then I am going to hand it over to Leslie, who's going to give a little intro of her wonderful coaches, who a lot of us know from groups, Bree and Joseph. We are grateful for you. You are our GFs today on our food logs. So thank you for being here. All right, Leslie.
All right, well, I'm just going to take 2 seconds. That way y'all can get to y'all's call and rock it out. But I'm pretty sure, I'm kind of scanning through the call, I think probably almost everybody on here has been in a group with Bree and Joe. And really, there's just no words. Y'all are amazing, fabulous people, and y'all inspire me every day. And every time I tell Bree that, she always responds back with, I'm like, no, you inspire me. And I'm like, no, you have no idea, where you push me to different levels and keep me inspired. And just your positivity is amazing, both of you. And y'all have been through a lot, not only with work stuff the last several months, but also just in your personal weight loss journeys and your journey in your marriage and everything. So I cannot wait to hear what y'all have to bring to the call tonight. For those of you who don't know, I know Bree through her brother and my husband went to high school together, and they were really good friends. And Lane was in my wedding, and so we've kind of known each other for years, and it was great to reconnect through this journey. And I'm so glad that we have. So I cannot wait to hear you. I'm not going to tell any more of your story because I don't know what you're going into. So y'all can take it over.
Well, thank you very much. Can everybody hear me okay? Okay, so our journey actually started, I guess, not this spring, but spring of 2015. And Joe and I have a little boy, Miles, who's about to be 4 tomorrow. And we looked at each other and we were like, hold on, I have 2 things going here. I'm going to turn on the volume on the other one because I'm echoing. There we go. We looked at each other and we're like, we're just not the parents that we want to be to our child. Number one, we both were very heavy. And for me personally, I know that whenever I have a lot of weight, it is a side effect of what I'm going through inside. And so if you ever see me overweight, I have a lot of baggage that's emotionally going on with me that I'm dealing with, that I'm not dealing with well. So Joe and I decided to join a church, and we joined, I guess, like in May of 2015, and in June of 2015, and immediately it was like all hell broke loose, literally. But we had medical issues, we had family stresses. Joe and Miles were in a rollover car accident that was pretty terrible. It was like one thing after another, and the whole time Joe and I are like, we got to lose weight, we need to get better shape, and we tried everything we could, and we lost like 10 pounds, and we were just frazzled, and we felt totally lost. And so Leslie was sending out little invites saying, come join my team. And I'm watching this skinny little girl who's like all positive with all her marathon friends, and I'm like, yeah, she doesn't want me on her team. Like, if I join her team, that team's gonna lose because I'm not going on marathons. I can't even do like a sit-up. So yeah, that's not gonna happen. So I called my little brother who knows Leslie, and I said, what's Leslie selling? Because she's trying to get me on her team, and I know that I'm not gonna win some marathon with her. So she's got to be selling something. So he told me, well, I think she really wants to help, but she also has these shakes. They're called Shakeology. And so my brother tells me about Shakeology, which is hilarious because he is like the 6'3" boy who could never gain a pound if you paid him when we were growing up. And so he could eat whatever he wanted. And for him to give me nutritional advice is like hilarious. But I knew that the shakes must be awesome if he was making them a habit in his life. And so I was like, okay, whatever. And then I had a coworker that started 21 Day Fix. And I've been a paralegal for almost 20 years. So I did some investigative work, and I realized that Leslie was a Beachbody coach, and she was selling 21 Day Fix. And I was like, I don't know about this mess. And my coworker did 21 Day Fix, and she said, it's a great plan. Let me show you the meal plan. You'll really like it, blah, blah, blah. So she shows me the meal plan, and it looked really good. It looked really easy. It was nutritionally sound, and I took it home to Joe, and I was like, I think there's something here, and I think it's time for a change. And Leslie's crazy, and she wants us to be on some team. I don't even know what that means. And then Leslie starts talking to me about coaches and weird stuff and some cult and like pyramid scheme, and I don't know what's going on. And I just like want to throw up because I'm scared. And she just keeps like smiling and asking me if I have any more questions. And I just took a leap of faith. And I'm glad that I did, because I had no idea what changes would be in store for our family by taking that leap of faith. And I had no idea the depth of which Beachbody would become a part of our life and a part of our network of people that we know. And I am looking at all these ladies, and many of you have been in groups since we very first started or have been in groups along the way. And I want to share with you the things that we've learned from iGolu tonight. But I also want to give you the message that you never know who's watching you in these challenge groups. And I'll never forget when I started the very first challenge group. I know Blaine was in there. It was Kimberly's group. Leslie was in there. I think Amanda was in there. And I'm trying to figure out how I fit in and what to do. And I'm lost. And I'm watching all these girls that are like so together, so much that they like take pictures of their food and they're all positive and they are on track and they're not drinking martinis every night and nobody has French fries. And I'm just like, how do these girls do this? Like, I don't even know if I can exist in this space. You know, this is so foreign to what my life is. And everything that I put into the group, it came back with positivity. And that's something new to me. I never had anything in my life where every single thing that I would say or do would be met with a positive and encouraging response. And so that was my first experience with Beachbody, and watching all of you grow and watching all of you share and getting to know more and more of you as we go along this journey has encouraged us to be better, has encouraged us to keep growing, and it has brought like a depth and a meaning to our life that we just can't even express to you. We are completely different people, and you think that you have a couple days that you don't post or nobody's paying attention or the little things that you're doing go unnoticed, but they don't. And sometimes you have new challengers in your group that are just trying to find hope. They're just trying to find a way in their life that they can be better. That they're just trying to be better moms or better dads or better people who are trying to find God, who are trying to find themselves, who are trying to heal. They're trying to do a lot of things, and weight and health and fitness is just part of that. And so every day that you show up, and I'll never forget, and Amanda, I think you're still on the call, and I hope, yes, you are. And I hope you're not mad at me, but when I first started, there were several times that you posted like, oh, I had like brownies and cookies, and like somebody left candy on my desk at work. And I'm like, man, who's this skinny girl eating all these sweets? And I thought, I love the fact that she's honest, you know, because this is what life is, and this is part of her journey, and she was trying to share, and I appreciated that honesty, and it helped me, encourage me to also be honest. And anyway, so I know I'm going on, sorry. But my point is that I really wanted you all to know, number one, how grateful we both are for you sharing your journeys with us. And I also, too, want you to know that people are watching you. They're watching everything that you post. And even those that are surfing through and not even commenting are looking at your life, and they're looking at you as an example of somebody that they want to emulate, or somebody that has habits that they want for themselves and they want to adapt this for themselves. So I just want to throw that out there. Joe, I'm sorry I'm doing all the talking. That never happens.
Hey guys, I'm Joe. I'm her husband. I'm the man that pops up in everybody's group every now and again. I think Bree covered a lot, but I became a dad when I was 40 years old. Got married around the same time. Both were completely new experiences for me, and they showed me that there were some things in my life that I needed to change. It kind of shines a light on things that you're doing wrong or not doing at all, or could be doing better. So my family is the reason why I do a lot of things. So I want to be the best person I can be for them, and I want them to be the best that they can be. So it's encouraged me to change a lot of things in my life, from joining a church to getting rid of some bad habits, to wanting to lose weight, to changing some thoughts about my life and my career, to pretty much everything went under maintenance. So it was more of a change anything, change everything, and see what happens. So that started long before Beachbody, but Beachbody has been a very positive experience, and it's shown us that we can accomplish just about anything that we set our minds to. So that's been a very positive thing for our family, and that sort of led us into what we'll be talking about with you guys tonight, which is some leadership training that a friend of ours introduced us to. Bree sat down and outlined a lot of thoughts that she wanted to discuss with you guys this evening. So I don't want to step on where she wants to go and how she wants to go. I plan on adding some flavor along the way, some thoughts that I had about the process, and some things that troubled me or helped me or whatever. I'll share along the way, but she has a little tour she wants to take you on. So let's go.
Really, Joe. So one thing that I will say is that for Joe and I both, and I think for probably everybody on the call, you realize how important personal development is and how important it is to develop yourself as a person and grow as a person. And that is truly what keeps you on your journey, because especially if you have a lot of weight to lose, or even if you're just trying to maintain the healthy lifestyle, which all in itself is a feat, but to be able to stay on track, you have to be growing as a person. And Joe's friend, who owns a very successful restaurant, actually decided that she wanted to become a yoga instructor. And as part of her yoga instructing, training, she went through this program called IGOLU, which, let's see if I can show you. Looks like that, but I guess it's backwards. But it's IGOLU with an umlaut over the U. Umlaut. I think that's how you say it. So anyway, it's a course where you get certified to be a leader, and they kind of go through different phases of your leadership training. And so anyway, she became a leader, and she had been talking to Joe and I, and she realized that we were really trying to overhaul our life, for lack of better terminology. But she asked us to be on this series of calls, and the way that it works is that you get a buddy. So Joe is naturally my buddy. And then there was another couple. They weren't a couple, but they were another buddy system. Yeah, another two people who were on a call with us, and it was a series of. It went over 6 weeks, but it was 4 different calls. And so with each call, you had your leader kind of guide you through some ideas and some tools, and then give you homework, and then you had to go out and do your homework, and then you came back and you did the rest of the call. So from IGOLU training, there are 6 different topics that I'm going to talk to you about. I would encourage you to take notes, because I'm going to go really high level, because I tend to talk too much, as I've already probably done. And if you go to the website, igolu.com, there's a ton of information. They've got like podcasts and webcasts and whatever you want to learn more. Or you can also talk to us too. We're obviously around. So the first thing that we talked about was above the line and below the line thinking. So the whole premise of this, and I know some of this is really similar to things that you probably heard before, so just humor me. But the whole premise with above the line and below the line thinking is that when you're below the line, you're feeling things like worry, guilt, stress, fear, judgment, doubt, resignation. You're taking things personally. You're saying things like, I can't do this, I won't do this. There's chaos in your life. Sarcasm, which, I don't know, it's always that. And then when you're above the line, you have things like commitment, forgiveness, discernment, faith, trust and patience, possibility, wonder, personal responsibility. You're saying things like, I can do this, I will do this. There's order in your life, and you have positive humor. So it was important at first to establish what is above the line and what is below the line. And for all of us, it's different. I can clearly say I am below the line when I am anxious and worried and I'm afraid. And even we explored ideas of when you're below the line, you have physical symptoms of it. Like you become short of breath, you have a hard time breathing, or you have like you're nauseous. Like I get really nauseous. If I get really upset and below the line, I will just puke. My stomach is upset.
They call them body triggers. Like your body giving you physical sensations to let you know that you're in this place, whether it's shortness of breath, or you feeling extremely tired, or you feeling panicked, or your muscles tensing up, or having intestinal distress. Your body's letting you know that you're not ready for this moment, whatever it is. You're either getting into it with someone, or you're nervous about a meeting, or something's happening that you can't deal with, and your body physically displays your inability to cope.
And so the idea of knowing what it's like for you to be above the line, to be successful, so you're goal oriented and you're going forward in a positive place in your life, like what that looks like. And then also knowing below the line what that looks like, hey, I know when I get sick to my stomach and I start getting really freaked out and worried, I'm below the line. I already know this pattern of behavior for myself. So when I can identify that off like that, I can switch the cycle and get back above the line, so I don't waste a whole lot of time. I waste a whole week of being off my food plan, not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, not achieving my goals, not helping people on my team, because I'm too busy trying to be below the line and getting myself back up again. So the idea is that once you can identify very clearly for yourself where you are, you can, boom, put yourself back over the line again. So the next question then is, what puts you back above the line? And for everybody, it's different. So for me personally, I pray, God, I am messed up. I don't know what the heck's going on. I need your help getting me above the line again. Or you meditate, or you laugh, or you go hang out with your girlfriends, or you hug your kid, or you listen to music. Whatever it is that puts you back above the line again is what your coping mechanism is going to be. So, hey, Bree comes home from work. She's scared. She's worried. She feels like she wants to puke. What's she going to do? She's going to go hug her kid, listen to music, and say a little prayer. And then, boom, we're back above the line again. We didn't waste a week eating Hershey's and French fries and drinking martinis. Or maybe not. But the other thing when we're talking about above the line, below the line, is talking about legacies. So that was a big topic, and talking about things that are passed down to you either from people or experiences in your life. So one exercise was thinking about your parents and your upbringing, or if it was one of your parents, whatever your upbringing was, to identify things that are passed down to you that are positive that you want to keep, and things that are negative that you want to do away with. So for me personally, I said positive with both of my parents. My parents are divorced, but both my parents have been very strong in their faith and wanting to establish that in their children. And so that's a legacy I want to also pass down to my child. A legacy I do not want to pass down is, can somebody, Dane, boom. My mom, for example, I really, honestly, my mom is going to be 70 years old this year, and I honestly don't know that my mom knows who she is. And that is a legacy that I also grapple with, is a self-identity, self-knowledge of where you're trying to go, making choices to move you towards a vision that are on purpose, that are not reactive. That is something that I also have inherited from her, which I think probably a lot of people struggle with. But that is a legacy I'm letting go of. So that's just, for me, an example. I don't know if you have an example or not.
Some quick examples for myself were my mom and my dad both
are crazy.
But they both worked really hard their whole life. They were never late. They're always on time. They worked as much as they needed to and then some. And their work ethic was always something that was readily noticeable by anyone that knew them. So I think that I have that, and I think that's part of me, and I think that's something that I always want to hold on to. A negative legacy is, negative feedback about anything that you wanted to do. I felt like when I was a kid, anytime I wanted to do something, play football, join a club, whatever, there was always somebody there. I'm not going to name who it was, but they would say, oh, you're not going to be any good at that, or you're not going to make the team, or I don't even know why you're trying to do that. And I catch myself as an adult saying that to myself, and I have to stop myself from saying that to other people. That thought enters my mind. I have to put it away. I have to not address it or stop it before it happens and say, tell myself that I can do it. I can do anything that I want to do, and not let that thought creep into the back of my mind and sabotage whatever I'm about to start or get into.
So I think the idea about above the line and below the line is to, number one, know the things that trigger you to go below. So what it looks like below, so you can quickly identify and send yourself back above the line again. And then also to recognize the legacies in your life that you want to hold on to and those that you need to let go of. So that was the first thing. Second thing is the power of knowing what you want. So this is an exercise that's similar to things I've heard before in our group, but it's very simple. Take a piece of paper, you draw a circle. In the middle of the circle, you write everything that you want. Outside the circle, you write everything you don't want. So it could be you're doing this over a meeting at work, or you're doing this for your fitness journey, or you're doing this for your life as a whole, your vision for your life. What are the things inside of the circle that you want, and what are the things that you don't want? And I think going through the exercise of writing it down, it helps you identify, like, oh, here's something over here that is outside my circle that I'm experiencing. I know I don't want that. Boom, it's out of my life. Back in the circle again. So it kind of works hand in hand with above the line, below the line, but it's a little bit more of just being very purposeful about what you're wanting for either your life or whatever the situation may be.
Okay. I'll give you a couple of quick examples of my circle. We had to do this like during the call, and my quick notes were stress, doubt, and fear were outside the circle. I think that fear is like an initial reaction whenever I'm unsure about something or unsure about how something's going to work out. Like there's a fear in the background that kind of controls what I'm doing. So I have to put that away and not pay attention to it. Inside the circle were things like strengthen my marriage, good education for my son, improve our financial outlook, travel the world with my family, reach and maintain my goal weight. Those are just a few things. So.
All right, so the first thing was the above the line, below the line. Second thing was the power of knowing what you want, the circle exercise. So then the third thing we talked about was an exercise called timelining. And the question for that series started off with, what is an incorrect belief that you have about yourself? What is something that you do or you say to yourself that is false and brings you below the line? And I think for myself personally, there's a million things probably that I have done or said to myself that are negative and bring me below the line. In the particular week that we are talking about, I actually happen to be starting a new job, and it was the Monday. I think maybe it was like the Monday after I had started, but the Sunday before I started my new job, I was like sick to my stomach in the bathroom, like throwing up, because I was so worried and nervous, and I had all these feelings of like, oh my God, I don't know. Like, what if I walk in there and I'm not qualified? Like, they figure I'm not qualified, or they're disappointed, or they're going to find something out about me that I'm ashamed of, or I'm not good enough. I was just like having all these self-doubt emotions. And so on the call, that question was asked, and I was like, well, these are things these are beliefs that I've had about myself that I see reoccurring that I constantly have to combat. And so the timelining exercise is when you feel yourself telling yourself or experiencing something that you know is a lie, you know it's false. Go back to the first time in your life that you ever remember having that set of thoughts or emotions. So my thoughts and emotions were I feel ashamed of I feel like somebody's going to find something out about me that I'm going to be ashamed of, and I feel like I'm not good enough. I feel like I'm broken. And if you go back to the very first time in my life that I felt that way, it was when I was my old age. I was kidnapped and I was sexually molested. And so that is a topic I wasn't expecting to discuss in iGoLu training, and something I thought I had gone through lots of therapy for and had no problems with. But the truth of the matter is, the things that happen to us in our life define us, and the experiences that we have create these legacies, create these thought patterns, create these messages that we tell ourselves. And if we can identify where they're coming from, we can combat them. So for me to say, I feel like I'm going to go into this job and I feel like they're going to figure out that I'm broken or I'm not worthy or I have something I should be ashamed of, I go back to being a very little girl and having those same feelings of, I feel like I am not worthy because I have been through this traumatic experience and something's been taken from me. And I have something to be ashamed of that I have to hide. And the exercise then takes you, okay, now that you're back at that first time in your life that you ever felt those feelings, what did you need at that moment in time to make it okay? And so my answer for that was, I needed to be reassured. I needed to have security. I needed positivity. I needed affirmations, protection. I needed justice for that dude. And to be told that I am worthy, that I am worth it, and I'm okay. And so now that I know like the foundation of where those feelings come from, and I know what would have combated it back then, when I start to go into my new job and I feel those feelings, I can say, Bree, stop. You know that that is a lie, and you know that you are worthy. You know that you are protected and you're provided for and you're worth it. So get over it, let's go. And that whole exercise was earth-shattering to me. There's lots of things in my life that I can say because of a miscarriage, because of a divorce, because of abuse, because of a layoff, because of whatever, I feel that I am this person, or I feel this way about myself. And I don't expect for those things to come along on a Beachbody 21-day fix journey, but they do. And that is crucial to getting to the next level for my goals personally, and I know for all of us, is to work through the foundation of what got me here anyway. I don't know if I guess you were anybody else, but
so I mean, the idea of it is using your present self to heal the wounds of the past you, to give them whatever they couldn't have or didn't get back then. And then once you do that, you move on from it. And if you encounter that again, because it still can come up, you can talk yourself through it.
And realize that below the line thinking is reactive, right? Above the line thinking is a choice. So when you say, I'm not worthy because I had a miscarriage and I can't be a mom, or like whatever the situation. I mean, I've been through many situations in my life I could fill in the blank with, but whatever the feeling is that you're reacting to, then you tell yourself, but I have a choice. This is my choice. And what is my choice going to be? My choice is going to be that I'm the victor. I'm victorious. Like, I am going to overcome this because I know how to get myself back above the line. And for me personally, I know who my God is and that we got this. So whatever it is for yourself that gets you back above the line to be successful and positive and get you out of that mindset, I guess. All right, so we did above the line, below the line thinking. The power of knowing what you want was 2. 3 was the timelining exercise. So then our next set of homework was interviewing, which was interesting, to say the least. So the task was, you have a set of 8 interview questions, and you had to find at least 5 people in your life to interview. And it had to be somebody that knows you really well, like your family or your friends that have been in your life through ups and downs, lots of different situations, and can give you positive feedback, and is not going to use the opportunity to like bring you to that place. So the interview questions are, what do you most appreciate about me? What do you wish that I would most appreciate about myself? What should I continue that supports my best self? Do you notice areas of my life where I experience a loss of power? When am I most inspired? What do you find challenging about me? What is the one thing you wish for me in the next 3 years? And then what is the one thing you think that I could master in my lifetime? So I ended up asking a mixture of family and friends the same set of questions. And at first I thought it was very silly. And Joe and I actually procrastinated this project for a while because we were like, I don't want to talk to those people. And I felt like if I talk to my family, they're just gonna piss me off and we're gonna get in some like big, brawl about nuh-uh. But I ended up talking to my mom, my dad, and my stepmom. as far as my family members are concerned. And I treated it just like an interview. There was no back and forth. There was no like argument about, you find that challenging about me? Well, guess what I find challenging about you? It was just an informational session, and same with my friends. And it was very insightful. And I am sad that it took me, I'll be 40 in a couple of weeks. I'm sad that it took me 40 years to like sit down with people and get their feedback, because I'm reading that. Sorry, I'm seeing conversations. Because it's interesting to see the similarities. You know, where does everybody think that Bree excels? Where does everybody think that Bree is like way not doing well? And then it was interesting to see the differences. Like the people that weren't my family saw my family as a reason that I go below the line or I lose power. So that was interesting to me. And it helped me at this very grown age to say, I love you, family, but I'm not going to allow you to let myself lose power because I'm trying to be something or do something or be reactive to what you're doing for me. So I've got to find a healthier place for you in my existence. It also helped me to see across the board, hey, everybody thinks that I'm really great at fill in the blank. So it helped me when I start to create my vision and my goals for myself. Let's be sure that I include those things, because that's what people are seeing. Get the feedback I'm getting is that that's when I'm at my best. That's when I'm positive. And I don't always see those things about myself. So it's really helpful.
I had a little bit different experience. I come from a long line of people that don't know how to share their feelings. So it was a different experience for me because it was an opportunity for me to like get people to talk. It got me to talk, it got them to talk, I interviewed my sister, and getting her to talk is like pulling wisdom teeth. But this interview process kind of like got her talking, and it got her talking about me, which is really surprising to me, but it was really good because I think kind of in that moment, our relationship, which I don't know that it's bad, but it could be a lot better. I think in that moment, it got better. So I'm grateful for the experience because I think it brought us a little closer together. And, you know, I interviewed my mom, you know, and it's hard for her to share her feelings, but she did, and she had some good things to say, and it was nice to hear what she thought. And I interviewed the girl that did the training with us, and, you know, she had some really positive things to say, and those were all good.
Can you hear us? Let's see. Now we're not, I don't know. Nobody's there. Oh no. Oh no. Can you guys hear us okay? Okay. So now we're on our cell phone. We have issues with our computer, which is why I had this backup. Sorry. And we really don't want to be disrespectful of your time. So, all right. So we had the above the line, below the line. Can you get this logged in? Okay. Above the line, below the line, the power of knowing what you want, the timelining exercise, the interviews, and then we got to finding your vision and setting goals. All right, so the finding your vision, it was a session where we kind of did like a little bit of a meditation. So if you will all humor me for a minute, I'll kind of walk you through it. It will be quick because I know we're running behind on time. But if you'll close your eyes, all of you, close your eyes and take a deep breath. Take another deep breath. Shut everything out of your mind, no other thoughts. Nothing else matters right now. Take a deep breath. So imagine that today is November 9th, 2026.
It's 10 years from today. Think about where you are. Are you outside? Are you inside? Are you at an event? Where are you? Take a look around. What do you see? What are the colors? What do you smell? Do you smell the sea? Do you smell burning leaves? Do you smell food cooking? Who is with you? Is it your family, your friends? Are you by yourself? Notice who's with you, who's not with you. And then what do you feel? What's in your hands? What's under your feet? Are you sitting? Are you standing? What are you doing? And open your eyes. So we kind of went through that exercise together, and kind of it was a little bit longer, and I'm trying to expedite it for you guys, but then taking the time to write it all down. So write down everything that you just visualized. And for myself, I could see myself very clearly at a house with a family gathering, and there were lots of details there that I wrote down. So write those down for yourself. And that is where your vision starts. So the idea is that you have a vision 10 years from now, and then you work backwards from there to build your goals. So in 10 years, I see myself at, for example, a big white house with a picket fence and community all around me, and I have whatever. What do I do 5 years from that to get there? And then what do I do 1 year from now to get there? So we broke down categories of goals, like it could be fitness goals, it could be family goals, it could be a vision for your life, whatever it was. But for each category that you chose, you create a vision for yourself 10 years from now. So we took some time to write all that down. And I it's the first time in my life that I had really thought about it in reverse. Like I always thought about, well, where do I want to be a year from now? Okay, and let's shoot for that. And then when I get there, then where do I want to be a year from there? I had never thought about it, 10 years out, like I want to be here. I want to be at this house. I want to be with these people. I want to experience these things. So what do I need to do to get there? And where do I need, if I want to be at this house, and in 5 years, I might need to have that down payment. And then from a year from now, I might be needing to have a job that's going to help me get that down payment, kind of working backwards towards it. So I thought it was a very helpful exercise to help me figure out what my vision was, write it down. There's still some things I want to go back and explore and visualize for myself. But the idea is that in 10 years from now, be free with your thoughts. Don't restrict yourself. It's okay to dream. It's okay to shoot for the stars. It's okay to try to achieve things that you never thought were possible. That's the point. You shoot for the stars and then work backwards to try to figure out, what goals you need to have in line to get you there.
Just one little thing I wanted to add on the whole process. There were several points during the vision planning and when you're writing things that you want to be in your circle and all the points along the way. They say that your mind always wants to find a quick solution, and they encourage you to go past whatever you think that first solution is, because it's your mind like trying to comfort itself or find a quick answer. They encourage you to keep thinking about it until you get to a moment where you're almost stuck or you're silent and you don't really know what the answer is, and to push past it. And in those moments are when you get the real answers. So it may not be that way in every circumstance, but it's going to happen at some point. For me, it kind of happened at every point. So.
All right. So now the task was to create your vision. So doing the meditative process of where you are 10 years from now helps to create your vision. And then the next step after you do your vision and your goals towards getting there is to create a personal declaration for yourself. So, let's see, where's my handout for that? Where'd it go? My declaration handout. Oh, here it is. I'm sorry. We're obviously very organized. Okay, so the declaration that you create serves as a reminder of what is ultimately important for you, your short-term and your long-term goals. It provides a way for you to tie in who you are today that fulfills your future goals. To start trying on your own declarations, go through the following steps. So the whole idea is that you're going to take the feedback from yourself, what keeps you above the line. You're going to take the feedback of, this is the power of knowing what I want. What's in the circle is what I want. You're going to take the feedback from your friends and your family. These are the things that Bree does or does not do well. These are the things that will help her succeed. This is the vision that I could see for her life. You're going to take your timelining. You know, these are the things that I got to overcome. These are the things that hold me down, that I got to fight through, that I got to rise above that occasion so I can actually achieve that vision for my life. So you're going to take all the exercises, and then you're going to create a declaration for yourself. So the steps in which to do that are, number one, look at one domain from your goal. So look at pick a goal. Like, are you going to pick a goal that's a personal one, that's your fitness, that's your family? Like, pick a domain. Read your vision out loud. So once you come up with your vision, read it out loud. And then pick one goal within that domain that you really think is crazy. Like, I'm going to be, I don't know what, like for us, one thing we thought was crazy was having a home in the location that we desire to have a home because of a million different reasons, but that was crazy. Like in 10 years, that's crazy. So pick that goal and identify what about that goal, like why do you think it's crazy? Do you think it's crazy because you don't deserve it, because you're not worthy of it, you're too broke? Like, what is the reason why you think that that's an unobtainable goal for yourself? And then you're going to create your declaration that's going to combat that. So you're going to use active verbs like I am, or I allow, or I choose, I give, I know. And you're going to choose words to kind of create your own, I don't know, like your own mantra in a way to kind of combat that negative feedback that you're giving yourself. And so we spent a long time trying to figure out declarations for ourselves. So I personally decided that my declaration was going to be, I am victorious, I am loved, and I am valued. And for me, it comes from the things that I want to be victorious over, that are my goals. And it goes back to the timelining exercise, that I need to feel that I'm loved and I'm valued. So that's something that I will tell myself, like if I start straying off the path and I'm not going towards the goals that I have in my vision to get me there, I say, Bree, I am victorious, I am loved, and I'm valued, I'm going on. And then Joe has a different declaration.
Yes. Some of the common themes in my vision writing were wanting better things for my family, needing to figure some things out in my life, wanting to help other people with this, also wanting to be more involved with charity. And there were some recurring themes of leadership. And the problem for me was trusting myself to believe that I could make these things possible, that I would follow through with them, and that I would make them happen in my life. So my declaration in the end was that I'm a trusted leader. So that's what I say to myself. It also needs to be a statement that is concise. It's something that you can remember. If it's a run-on sentence, 2 weeks from now, you won't remember half of it, and you'll be stumbling through it, and it's not going to boost you because you don't even know what it is. So it needs to be something that can stick in your mind, and you can tell yourself anytime, all the time, once in a while, whenever you need it. So that's a key to it, is that it needs to be always in your pocket, ready to go.
So we found the training extremely helpful, obviously. I think for Joe and I both, we could probably both say this, is that we feel like we started life really late in a lot of ways. And maybe
Okay, can you guys hear me? Sorry, we're having technical difficulties. Murphy's Law, what can I say? But anyway, we started life late. And a lot of times I think that Joe and I both felt like it's too late for us. We're washed up, we're used up. We have a million different things in our life that have happened to tell us that we're not worth it. And tapping into your vision and your goals and being very purposeful and being analytical about how you're attacking this process is something new to me and something I found extremely helpful. I also find the support in our groups extremely helpful, and I feel like we both owe you all a debt of gratitude for helping us to find a positive place to lift us above the line again. I think it's important for us when we're dealing with challengers in our groups and we're dealing with people that are new to Beachbody and new to what we're doing, that we understand that everybody has a story, everybody has a background, everybody has legacies that they're trying to identify. What do I bring with me and what do I leave behind? And what does it mean for me to be above and below the line? And where am I trying to go? And what is the vision that I'm trying what is the vision I'm trying to achieve? And being able to achieve weight loss and being able to achieve health goals is enough to bring people above the line to where they can succeed with other things in their life. So when you think about your challengers and you think about your challenge groups and you think about what investment you're making in people's lives, it's not just about like, oh, did you drink your Shakeology and work out and have enough water today? No, it's about, did you change your whole freaking life? And did you change who you are as a person? And have you overcome your past? And have you stopped the legacy from repeating itself for your children? And have you bettered their lives? Because that's freaking huge. Like, that is life-changing and earth and world changing, and that is amazing. And all of you have been a part of that for us, and I don't want any of us to forget that that's what we do every day when we log in. We talk about our one glass of wine and our Snickers that we accidentally had and whatever. That's what it's all about. It's all about changing lives, and I am so proud that I get to be a part of this team. And I know we went way too long, and I'm sorry for all of our difficulties. Maybe we're never going to be invited back again. But I appreciate you guys listening to us. And listening very honored that you have very honored that you're here, because you certainly have all given us more than what we could. So thank you for hearing us out tonight.
You're so welcome. Thank you. You're awesome. That was really, really good. So we really appreciate your time. And you did not go over. They were trying to cut me off, and I was frantically trying to fix it. I had a credit card get stolen today, and it was, of course, it's the card that, like, not stolen, but like hacked. But it's the card that like has everything on it, you know. And you're like, I have to like reboot everything. So you did not go over. I was trying to fix it in the middle so we didn't get cut off. But I thought it was awesome. I think a lot of the things that you said, like, are the things that, you know, the longer you're in coaching or really anything with personal development, you'll hear over and over, like the vision and the goals and the exercise of like where you want to be in 10 years, you know, like we do that. I do that a lot with like, what's your perfect day? Like, I'm trying to visualize my perfect day. Like, what would that look like to you? What, you know, what would it smell like? Where would you be? Who would be there? What would you be eating? What would you be doing? I love exercises like that, because until you do that, you're not dreaming. Like, and I took pages and pages of notes. So if you guys will share the interview questions, just since we couldn't write those down fast enough, if you can share those in the group, that would be awesome to ask. And then There was one note that I made that I wanted to say something. I don't know, but I thought it was great. Like I ended it with, you know, I bring people above the line. Like when I'm taking notes and things like this, guys, or watch them over again, like I'm constantly writing in the columns, like post ideas as far as things that I need to share with people. And like, that's what we have to share with people is not, I have another 21-day challenge. Like it's about drinking more water and a shake. It's about getting people above the line. Like, what do I do as a coach? You know, like we have a sneak peek coming up that we should be inviting to, and there's leaders on this team that are going to have an opportunity to share. And Bree and Joe, we would love for you to share on the sneak peek, you know, more about your story and bring this into it. It's a 5-minute, like, what has coaching done for you? It's brought me above the line. Like, I think that's really powerful for us to start to share with people. And there's so many things that you said. Like, I mean, who knew that you were going to tap into all these things from a 21-day challenge? Like, people don't know that until we start to share it. But I think they start to see it from us tagging each other and things and showing up in each other's lives and seeing the things that we do together, even if we live miles and miles apart. Like, we celebrate each other as a team and motivate each other. And I know people see that because just like you said when you started the call, like people are watching, whether they never comment or they never like. I've had people join challenge groups that have never commented on my stuff, never liked my stuff, never gotten a personal invite, but they've been watching me for years. So you never know who's going to be watching you on social media and just living your life. Like you never know out and about how people are going to they're watching you. They see how you carry yourself. They see your attitude and your day-to-day activities. So I tend not to leave the house because it's usually what I look like. But
Sorry. I think it's important.
I can look different on social media.
I think it's important too. Like I learned this lesson from Leslie, is that just because we do not have the same journey, and just because we don't have the same struggles, and just because we don't have the same strengths or the same obstacles doesn't mean that we cannot be a blessing to each other, and doesn't mean we can't give each other the tools to empower one another to succeed. If I were to have said, Leslie's this skinny little girl who's positive and running marathons and is super successful, and she has no idea what it's going to be like to be a fat girl that hasn't worked out in 3 years, that's been through hell and back, who doesn't even know what hope is at this moment. Like, she don't know. If I were to stop there, then none of this would have happened for my family. And if Leslie would have stopped and said, Bree is not anything like me, and I just want girls to run on my marathon team, like, this never would have happened for us. And I appreciate the fact that she was open enough to share her journey. And I also am glad that I learned a lesson for myself, that God gives us each other. God gives us all the people that come into our life for a reason. And it doesn't matter if I run a studio like Dane Boyle does, and I know exactly what I'm doing every day. I'm doing what Bree Murphy does, and Dane inspires me, and Leslie inspires me, and Kimberly inspires me. As different as we may be, we all help each other, and we have to be open to that. And I think that is a lie that I've told myself so many times, is that, oh, well, you can't do it. Just because she can do it, you can't do it because you have all of this to deal with. P.S. You can do it. And I am extremely, I feel like an overflowing like gratitude to everyone being open enough to share their journey, everybody that's on the call, because it's helped me. And by helping me, I've helped him. And by helping him, he's helped our son. And by helping us, we've helped other people. So it keeps going. I think it's really important.
Absolutely. A huge ripple effect. You have the opportunity to, you know, by me inviting Leslie, she invites you, and all of those things that you just said happen. So it's the power of, you know, just I actually didn't invite Leslie. She came to me, so I can't use that as an example. Thank God. I went to high school with John. I went to high school with your brother. How wild is that? When Leslie told me that, I was like, get out of town. I know who that is. Like, that's just crazy how people come into your life, though, and how you said, like, everyone is put there for a reason. Like, something that Danny Johnson said at the last Danny was, every meeting is a divine appointment. we just don't see it sometimes. You know, you might be sitting by someone on the bus or checking out with someone at Walmart, or went to high school with someone, and there's divine appointments put in our life every single day. And sometimes we just don't get a chance to take advantage of them at that moment, but he'll keep putting them back in your life until you get connected the way he wants you to. So, all right, guys, I appreciate your time, and thank you all guys for jumping on, and I'll get the recording up by tomorrow morning. So just post those questions in there for us so we can have all the people interview us at Thanksgiving. That'll be super fun. All right, appreciate you guys. Thank you.